Hey, everybody, here with Jackie Shapiro, Shapiro Hurst, my favorite and most professional and skilled credit expert. And there's some big changes coming this month. I like to get you videos every month on new things that may affect you when you're looking to buy your home or just how to manage your home ownership experience. So, Jackie, thanks for taking a couple of minutes with me today.
Good morning, Andy. It's my pleasure, as
Wonderful.
always.
Good, good. These are quick videos. And I know that we've been working together for several years, but you've been in the business how long?
Credit and finance over 25 years.
That's good. That's really good. And I tell you, I send you a lot of clients and you are a wizard. I feel like we should get you a Dumbledore type hat or something and a wand. Seriously. So the stuff you're able to do is unbelievable. And I remember you told me about some changes that are happening this month. So let's just dig into that a little bit. What are the changes happening this month and what does it mean for people that may have some of these issues on their credit?
So, most significantly, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau came out in January. Excuse me. So, they came out in January with the bulletin to the credit bureaus and debt collectors saying, hey, medical debt, you cannot have what they call it's a no surprise act. It means you can't just surprise someone with medical debt that they weren't expecting. So, because of this, what I believe is happening is that the credit bureaus themselves have taken a proactive stance in how they're going to address this. So they're
That's a
taking
nice change.
liability. Well, they're taking liability off of the table because if you
Mm,
remember, not too long ago, they got sued by the New York Attorney General's office and several of the other attorney generals across the country for public records, which resulted in now they can't report judgments because there was no way for them to verify them
right.
directly, right? So I believe that this is a liability play on their part, but yeah, so this should be a really good thing for consumers moving forward. So as of next month, anything that's paid on the medical side, the bureaus should be removing those. Now, I do say should be. This is a new pivot. This might take a minute for all of this stuff to really even out for them, but I believe ultimately this will be a really good thing for the consumers because medical debt isn't like any other kind of debt, right? We don't go break our legs on purpose.
Right. Well, and also, and then in my experience, my wife, this is years ago, she broke her leg and we paid all the medical bills, but they're so confusing where you pay the hospital and then you get this other bill and then you've double paid it. And then all of a sudden they still recorded and we ended up getting collections for things we paid, some of them twice. And it was hard to get them off. This is before I knew you, otherwise it would have been easier. But I know how challenging that is in talking to so many clients. It's very frustrating, and a lot of times it is a surprise. So what you're saying is, after this month, I guess after July, medical collections that are paid will now not show up as a paid collection. It will just be deleted from the report, in
Correct.
theory.
Correct.
How does that benefit the buyer and the score? What's the difference between like a collection that shows paid on the report and just not having the collection at all?
So if it shows up as paid, just depending on how that is updated, it can actually make things worse in the credit report and make the scores go down. So them deleting it in its entirety is obviously a huge win for our consumers, right? That they've preempted this with a 6 month waiting period for collectors to even be able to report them because of the issue you just brought up.
Yeah.
Insurance providers and everything gets discombobulated. So now that 6 months, mid next year, that should turn into a year waiting period,
Hmm.
and anything under $500 not being reported at all.
Okay. Well, that's a big deal because you've helped me. A lot of my clients like fight medical collection balances, but some of them, you admit it yourself, they just don't play ball and they will not delete it. Does this give you extra? Because let's be honest, the credit bureaus, this is not going to get done correctly, right? But when this happens, if someone needs to buy a home and they're like, holy junk, I got these medical collections on there, they shouldn't even be reported, or this has been paid for 2 years, it's still reporting. Does this now give you some fuel to help fight this for them and get it off for them easier?
I think that it's going to change the way we fight some of them,
Got it.
right? The collectors themselves are not being regulated to take this action. This is something that the bureaus are doing on their own. So I think it changes the dynamic a little bit, but ultimately, end of day, it definitely helps the consumers. It definitely gives us additional tools in our toolbox to help the consumers and the clients be able to achieve that goal of getting those things out of the way, raising credit scores, putting them in a better financial position.
Absolutely, because sometimes even 1 or 2 points can make a difference in a quarter of 3/8% in rate. 20, 40, 60 points can change the type of program, the down payment, all kinds of stuff. So, Jackie, thank you so much for taking the time today. Everyone, in this email and at the bottom of this, you will see her contact information. Of course, you can always reach out to us if you have any questions on your credit, or you have some collections that you are expecting or wanting to see if they can come off and it fits the bucket. Please reach out to us or reach out to Jackie Shapiro directly at Shapiro Hurst, and she will take excellent care of you. Jackie, thanks again for what you do for the clients and for our community.
Thank you, Andy. It's always a pleasure.
Cheers.